Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Huh, we're gonna ignore that. So I was looking at my book shelving thingy, and I have a lot of books that I honestly don't think are my style or type or vibe or whatever of reading anymore. I first started reading in 2022, so a lot of these books I think I accumulated 2023, 2024. It is 2026. And I think my reading style changed a lot last year as well. So there is definitely a lot of books in here that I think I could potentially say goodbye to. So I'm thinking of starting this little series where I basically kind of read it or scrap it, or a little bit of a quicker version of that because I read very slow. It takes me about 2 weeks on average to probably finish a book. So instead of basically reading one book in its entirety or even halfway reading it or whatever, I'm gonna read like a couple of pages, maybe a chapter, and then within that time frame, if I don't really care for it, it's getting scrapped. Otherwise, if it seems intriguing, I will keep it on my bookshelf. This is just one area. I do have more books scattered around the room. This is kind of just the one area that mainly has my books. So I will go ahead and look through there to see what we can start with. So here is one of my favorite spots on my shelf. Minus, I haven't actually read Legends and Lattes yet, but the Cruel Prince series is one of my favorite book series ever. So of course it's got its spot at the top. And the first book of Dark Rise is absolutely amazing. I loved it. And I'm like waiting to read the next book until the next one comes out. But I do think Legends and Lattes might be a good one to try out because it's something that I'm not quite sure if I will actually enjoy. I think out of all four of these, Scythe might be something that I enjoy the most. But I definitely need to try these out. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and try Scythe out. I feel like I'll like this one though, so let's do it. It is very hard to move this. It actually doesn't move like it should, just because it is on carpet. So I do have to kind of shimmy around here. I think another one that I would really like to try out is actually this series because I did get the first two volumes of this on Book Outlet, and I just don't know if it's something that I would really be into anymore. Right, so we'll go ahead and try this one as well. Right, so I think for this video, we'll go ahead and start with these three books. We have Legends and Lattes, check that one out. Scythe. Oh gosh, how do you say this? And this book, Pestilence. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing that. So for the next couple days, I'll read through the first chapter or so and make a decision. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I like one of them at least. Right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with Legends and Lattes. I actually, little fun fact about this, I found this at a Home Goods, I want to say a couple years ago. Back when they first started getting books. Nowadays you can go to like a TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods and get books. They get books a lot more now. But I remember being like, oh my gosh, and I like snagged it. And at the time I was really intrigued to read this. I just don't know how much I'm as into the concept anymore, into the vibe anymore. But who knows? I know it's like cozy fantasy, so maybe I end up liking that. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get started. Also, it's a little bit dark in here and I'm a little bit blind. So I will be using my necklight. I hope this doesn't make the video bad. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I actually just finished the first chapter, the prologue in the first chapter of Legends and Lattes, and I'm keeping it, at least for now. I'm actually really intrigued. Obviously, not much is revealed in the first chapter, so you get to know a little bit about our main character and kind of how it leads up to her getting the place that she's going to basically make her life going forward, her coffee shop. Literally, when I was done with the first chapter, I wanted to continue reading, and I really want to know who this character is. I'm just really curious at also the concept of coffee being a very new invention in this universe. I'm really intrigued, so keeping this, and I definitely want to continue reading this one. So let's go on to the next book. Okay, I'm sitting at my desk for now. We have this book. We'll go ahead and try this one. Read the first chapter. So I want to say this first chapter is really short, so I might need to read a little bit more than that. But we'll see. To be honest, I don't remember anything about any of the 3 books that I've been reading. This one in particular, I think I will read the blurb in the back because I genuinely don't remember. I read another series under the Bloom Books publishing company before, and I really liked the first 2 books of that series. I was super excited to read the whole series. I got to the 3rd book and I just couldn't do it anymore. Don't know if that has anything to do with my taste changing or if it just wasn't it. So I don't know if I'm gonna really like this one, but I could at the same time. Okay, I read the first 2 chapters. I'm not gonna lie, I'm intrigued by this book as well. I don't know if I'm just easy or what. I don't know. Also, I've come to the realization, I was here thinking that I'm slowly getting out of fantasy or romantasy and so on and so forth, but I'm not. I'm not, because reading this one and Legends and Lattes has reignited the feeling I feel when I read fantasy, and that is that I really enjoy it. So basically, I'm finding out that I didn't technically move on from my reading style. I'm just remembering my love for it. So, but yeah, I'm really intrigued by this one too. What the heck? So this one basically follows a world that basically goes into apocalypse because the 4 horsemen came to Earth. So pestilence, war, famine, and death. In this book in particular, we follow the story of pestilence and so on and so forth, assuming it's gonna be some sort of dark romance type of vibe. I am intrigued. I'm intrigued. I love apocalyptic stuff as well, so it's probably really why I picked this series up. But yeah, we will go on to the next book, and that is Scythe. Let's see how this one goes. I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one too. I have a feeling. So we might go 3 for 3 in keeping these books, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but let's go. Hello, it is the next day. I'm gonna pick up Scythe. I was planning to do this out and about today. I ran a bunch of errands. I never found time today to actually sit down and read. So here I am back in my place. We're gonna get to reading Scythe. We'll see how this one goes. okay, I read the first chapter. Once again, I did actually really enjoy this, and I'm gonna keep it and eventually read it. This too is very intriguing. It basically seems like it follows a time where the world eventually got to a point where there was no longer any causes of death. Basically, nobody passes naturally, nobody even gets in accidents, nothing dangerous happens anymore, but people still have to pass. So that is why scythes were created, or why scythes exist now, to take away lives. Very intrigued. It's funny because I've been in a huge reading slump, and even some of the books that I've recently picked up to try to get back into reading, it's been a little bit hard. But every single one of these books, I'm just like, dang, I could probably pick either one of these 3 books and they would probably fix my reading slump. So I might actually have to pick up one of these 3s to help me get back on track. Either way, I enjoyed all 3 of them, and hopefully I'll get to them this year. I should make that my goal, is books that I read in these videos, I try to get to them in the next couple months or so. But yeah, I really enjoyed all 3 of these books. We'll be keeping all 3 of these books, and that is it for this video. I really appreciate you guys watching it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!